And now, away from that, the Arewa Consultative Forum has called on the federal government to take urgent action following the continued captivity of worshippers abducted from Kurmin Wali village in Kajuru local government, Kaduna state. Gunmen attacked 3 churches during services last week, abducting dozens of residents. The forum says at least 166 people are still in captivity. In a statement, a spokesperson said the incident highlights worsening insecurity nationwide, threatening public safety and national stability. The group urged the government to act decisively, strengthen security operations, and empower local communities to restore confidence. And joining us live are Gloria Ballason, a lawyer and Kaduna stakeholder from Kaduna. We also have Abubakar Kankara, a security consultant who joins us from Kano. Good afternoon. Oh, apparently it seems like we have only Gloria at the moment. Well, Gloria, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. Gloria, let's talk about this abduction. Initially from the beginning, we've had situations where it was said that, oh, they were not sure, and then names came out, and then they say, yes, they were sure. And, you know, they've described the abduction of these worshippers as a stark reminder. That was from Mohammed Baba of the ACF. How do you think this incident reflects the systemic failures in Nigeria's security strategy? Gloria?
They said they were not sure. It was that they were in denial because not being sure is different from being in denial.
Right.
But there was a stark denial of the facts that these worshippers, who were 177 at the time, were kidnapped. Some were able to escape and return back to their houses. But what this reveals in terms of the systemic issues that we continue to deal with in insecurity issues is, first of all, that there hasn't been enough investment in trying to prevent the recurrence of insecurity. One would hope that this would be the last. But then it seems that every time we speak about these things, we're only waiting for the next cycle of incidents to occur again. And that's quite unfortunate. It's even made more unfortunate because no one is held accountable for where the lapses, the negligence, and the incapacities lie. The other issue also is that as a country, we have to take a deep reflection on whether this is how we want to continue, whether this is the trajectory we want to, insist on as a country, because Nigeria sadly is shaped by this, not insecurity, but terrorism. And whether we want to decide that this should come to an end or if this should continue is something the security agents, and particularly the Nigerian government, needs to think deeply about. And what that will take, in my view, is first that the people who are sponsoring this terrorism need to be held accountable. Those who are collaborating, those who are using this and cashing out due to political gains, all of them need to be held accountable. Because there is also a pattern that reflects every time we come close to elections, the incidents escalate, terrorist activities escalate, which means that it may not be divorced from political undertones. And whatever that is, that needs to be revealed and properly attended to. And when I speak about proper attention being given to it, it means that we have to stop. We're not a country of criminals. We're a country of citizens.
Right. Now, Gloria, of course, allegedly it was said that the bandits was asking for their motorcycles before they could release the people that are in captivity. And of course, the ACF emphasizes that the urgent need to rescue these captives because they are enduring unspeakable hardships from bloodthirsty criminals. What do you think will be the immediate tactical options that the security forces should prioritize to secure the release of the people that have been abducted?
Well, if I were in the security sector and if my pay grade were of the security sector, I would have been able to speak directly to it. But I am a citizen. I do know that our security agents are not incapacitated. So it's not that we have a capacity challenge here. We really have a will challenge. Because if there was the will in the first instance, we would not have been here. There are security reports that highlight where, terrorism or any form of insecurity will occur, and what happened to the report. And when that happened, why was there not a prompt attempt to try to save them? But now that we are here, the government, which was able to have the intelligence to pick up Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, should have the intelligence to be able to pick up our citizens. Surely that should not be a difficult challenge. We saw that the Americans, and this happened about 2 years ago, were able to save one of their own on the Nigerian soil. So if they could come in and save their own, just a single citizen, 166 citizens in danger should be something that should stop our government and make them just focus on ensuring that they return. So I would say that the intelligence unit, the security agents need to swing swiftly to action. But then again, the real issue would be whether we want to continue to deal with these symptoms or we want to go to the root cause. And the root cause is that we must find out those people who are cashing out from insecurity in Nigeria.
Yeah.
If we don't attend to that, we will have this conversation only to return back again.
Right. Now, Gloria, since you said it was above your pay grade to talk about security and as a concerned citizen, now let me ask you, we've seen in the news where they talked about repentant bandits having to come back into the community. And, we also had a report here in News Central where the bandits were saying they want to be able to walk around without fear. What's your take on that? How best would you advise the government to say, look, the citizens are going through this, there's trauma, there's frustration, people don't understand why they can't sleep at night because they are not sure of their safety the next day, and you want to release the same people who kidnapped these people, killed some, raped some, back into the system. As a citizen, what will you tell the government now?
It is the audacity of this terrorist that is blood-curdling, but you cannot blame them. This is a country where terrorist apologists, get on the news and say whatever they want to do. You must have heard Sheikh Gumi over and over again advocate and even compare them with the Niger Delta militants, which is quite unfortunate because if you look at the pedigree of Sheikh Gumi, he is a retired major. He's also a medical doctor. I don't think he's in the place and in the position to advise the country to condone criminals and terrorists. But again, the Nigerian government has continued to go on the path where they speak about non-kinetic intervention for, insurgents. Unfortunately, the focus has always been on perpetrators rather than victims. And a country that continues to pamper terrorists, those who continue to make the space insecure and do not prioritize the choices and the pain of victims, will continue to come back to this kind of pain over and over again. And so my thing is that, and this is my honest view, is that we must begin to set an agenda for the end of this insecurity. And what would that look like? It means that even in the communities, there is a need to disincentivize insecurity and terrorism, which means that the country needs to, the same way they prioritize political cases, given timelines, there needs to be a timeline to say, we're going to concentrate on ensuring that Nigerians walk the free soil. And so victims need to be protected. Communities that are not yet attacked need to be protected. Victims need to be prioritized. We need to ensure that the schools are working. Something that I've seen is that
well, it seems we're having a connection issue with Gloria. Hopefully she's still there. If she's not, well, Gloria, thank you for joining us and giving us your insight as a concerned citizen and a lawyer. We appreciate you joining us.